There we go. There we go. All right. I wanted to tune in and turn on and tune out tuna fish as soon as it hit 8 o'clock. Penny, you are as prompt as I am. I love it. Carla Jane, you are also as prompt as I am. I love it. I literally was waiting for the clock to go 8. And then I was like, boop, let's do this, people. Okay? Let's make the most of our time together. Good morning. I hope you got a good night's sleep. You know how dragging I was last night. I'm not going to lie. When I was doing my TikTok live at 9 p.m., which is late for me to do that after doing 4 others during the week, the day, and coaching. I got some good sleep. I feel so much better. So I hope you guys do too. I hope you do too. Here we are. It is Friday. It is Friday, January 17th. And as Dutch said, somebody else I follow on TikTok, wow, do these past 2+ weeks feel like they've been years? Good morning, Gina, and Gen X with a purple heart, unlike Gen X without the purple heart. Remember that yesterday? That was so funny. And Pinky Silver Chloe, nice to see you. Nice to see you. And Michelle, nice to see you too. So you can tell the people that knew I was going to tune in at 8 o'clock. And I think that's awesome. I think that's awesome. Manatee Mermaid, nice to see you. And also today, as you know, what we do every day is many of us who have been here and tuning into my TikTok lives for the past basically 2 years now. It's crazy to realize it was 2 years. And Becky, I love it. We also were obviously going to be welcoming to new people because even though I will be honest with you. Thank you, Gina. I will have happy and safe travels, but thank you. I appreciate the wish. I do. I feel a little bit bittersweet. I will share with you, since it's just such a small group here. Blonde Cheryl, nice to see you. And comadre de madre, as opposed to comrade, that my dyslexia was calling you earlier, huh? And Carol, nice to see you. Good stuff. So I have no idea what's going to happen with TikTok in the next week. I don't think you do either. So what we're going to do, Gen X says, I hope we are still here when I get back to. I do too. I really feel kind of awkward. If I didn't have these travels already planned, I would totally be up until the last minute hanging out on TikTok. But what I'm going to say is you and I will still be here, and the here, listen to me trying to do like hand signals. Here is relative. Here is relative. Yes, of course. We want to be staying here at the Ritz-Carlton of social media platforms for those of us who dig it, right? And however, if somebody decides to close down the Ritz-Carlton and lock the doors, we can encourage people to do something to keep it open. But if it's not going to be open, we will just gather elsewhere. And while the accommodations not be what we're used to, and we'll have to kind of adjust to it, we will, if we want, remain together, a community. Okay? So I share that with you, knowing that there is a lot going on. I'm talking about TikTok, but you just scale that up, and that same concept is going to be consistent through what's going on. Okay? I will be here for you. I'm not planning on going anywhere except for my travels, and I do that, so it's not like I will be back. We don't have to have, what's that thing, like separation anxiety? I will be back. I will be back. And I truly hope that, yes, when I sign on my computer on either, I guess it's Tuesday the 28th or Wednesday the 29th, I got to look. I hope I can tune in on my phone to TikTok and it's still here, and I would be like a hot minute. It would be a hot minute to be like, you guys, I'm doing a TikTok live. I will already be looking to see where we can show up, and I will share this with you. People on the mailing list will know exactly when our first kind of meeting will be. Either, yay, we're still here on TikTok for however long, or probably at the tube of you. Okay? So those of you who are curious about it, 2 quick questions. If TikTok is not here, I will be on YouTube, both creating filmed content, but more fun, frankly, is I will be doing YouTube lives which are going to be similar, I say exactly, content-wise, they'd be exactly what's going on here. The only difference will be the format. The only difference will be where the buttons are and where I look for your comments and where you go to comment and all those types of things. Okay? Yes, I heard you, Gina. Gina. Reunited and it will feel so good, right? So let's make the most of our time here, okay? And I love it. Krug is saying, enjoying your lives this week, getting motivated and starting my list this morning. I love it. Hey, yo, Cat Roby. She's clearing email from 7 accounts in bed with the cat, I think it is, dog. Scheduled Beth Blinders. Yeah, I love that. I was filling in little details on my list today. So I share with you something, declutter-wise and otherwise. There we go. Oh, Pinky Silver Chloe says, again, thank you for getting me through this TikTok crisis. Erin, I raise my mug to you. Good morning. And Erica, oh my God, it's like old home week. I'm getting all choked up. You got me moving on house projects again, and for that, I thank you very much. Yay. Ellen is about to go declutter her car of snow because any kind of decluttering makes moving forward in any vehicle easier. You can't move forward if you can't see through your windshield, right? So good. Yeah, we had a bit of snow yesterday. It looks pretty. It's cold. I'm going to be glad to be spending part of my travels next week someplace warm. I love it. Erica is saying, I am planning to work on some decluttering today. Cool. So for those of you who haven't met me, my name is Beth. I am a decluttering life coach, and I have been here on TikTok for almost 2 years, showing up not necessarily on the daily, but mostly on the daily, doing TikTok lives. I have amassed with me, I want to introduce you to a wonderful group of people that I have had the pleasure and honor of getting to know through this wonderful platform called TikTok. Many of them are here today, some are not because it doesn't work out with their schedules, but I will share with you. I have met such a wonderful quality of people here on TikTok, some of which, a small percentage, have become my paid one-on-one clients, and others I have been honored to help just with me showing up and doing a TikTok live. Now, I show up and do my TikTok lives to empower you and inspire you. Now, I don't give you the power. It's not like you didn't have it and I give it to you. What we do is we kind of dust it off, much like the dust of snow that Ellen has on her car. We dust off the power you have always had inside you, but maybe you kind of tucked it away and you haven't opened that box and it's been covered with clutter. Okay? So I introduce myself like that to new people, but I seriously share that with everybody here. This has been a wonderful adventure, and I truly know it will continue, whether it's in this TikTok car or on YouTube or some other place as yet to be defined. Okay? So I just want to kind of mention that. Today I'll be on TikTok from 8 to 9, and then I coach, and then I pack, and then I shower, and then I looked at my calendar, and I here's what I did. I'll share this with you. I made time for what was important to me. I road mapped my day, and I worked backwards from the time our plane leaves until when we need to leave, and just kind of backing up. And I realized I could schedule one final TikTok live. And I say final for me. It's only because I am going traveling as of 1 p.m. Eastern today. But between 11 a.m. Eastern and 12 p.m. Eastern, I will also be doing a TikTok live. So if you're just kind of buzzing by here and you can't stay, that's fine. Also, I tend to do my TikTok lives for an hour if you can't make it the whole time. I never say you have to stay. Kind of like life. People come and go. People come and go in your life. They may not be here for the entirety of it. But let's enjoy our time together while we're all in this same room. Okay? So, yay. Good stuff. Yes, Cat Roby. It was great. That one persona said, Cat Roby, I used my SBB last night to put some sheets away. And we gave you a shout out. Okay? Therapy Gal Sue is saying it's 7 a.m. and I'm up early to get going for our team motivating me this week. There we go. Look, we're a team. I am not a sporty person, so goals and teams makes me think of my corporate job. I like to think of us like we're a crew. Like we hang. In the club, we all fam, right? So this is our club. Now, and the neat thing is later today I get to hang out with my in real life crew, because many of us are going traveling together for a short bit. So that feeling of being connected to other people is a wonderful thing, you know? And isn't it cool that we can rail against our clutter, but if we didn't have clutter in our lives, none of us would have showed up here on TikTok and connected this way. Yes, and Gigi Gina, I started to sing it last night, and boy, was I croaking like Michigan J. Frog. Carol Burnett theme song, right? I'm so glad we had this time together just to have a laugh and sing a song. But you know what? We just got started. So we'll wait for the good night everybody's in 50 minutes. So we've got 50 minutes together. Okay? I love it. Becky R68 has wisely observed, I have several returns to declutter. Returns to declutter gets the stuff out of your house and the money back on your credit card. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah. SC Native, I'm glad you've enjoyed the lives, and thank you for saying you appreciate me. I will miss these TikToks. Stranger things have happened. It could be here, it could be not. We will handle with grace and dignity and some pushback. You know, don't just give up the ship. Do not obey in advance. Everybody here, I'm leaving the country, frankly, today. And so I actually will be not on TikTok, because I'll also be doing traveling and stuff. But if TikTok is, the days that TikTok is still here, use it up, show up, continue to do whatever you can to the best of your abilities to encourage people to keep TikTok around. It's funny. I talk about my real life people, right, that I'm going to hang out with. And what I will offer to you is, I don't think any of them are on TikTok, and they don't know about us, as Tracy Ullman would say. They have no idea how cool TikTok is. Boy, what they're missing. They don't realize what a great thing, what a benefit it has been to our lives. So, you know what? They don't know. How would they know? How would I know? Right? Now, Comadre is saying, some of my clutter is gifts from friends and family that I don't have room for. I'm hoping you mean the gifts and not the friends and the family, but you know what? It could be true. Both could be true. I'm going to request no more gifts. Yes. When you discover what you want, I want no more gifts because I don't even have room. You need to speak up for what you want. None of us are mind readers. You need to decide for yourself what you want and then tell the people that are going to be able to do that. I say that both from a political standpoint, frankly, and keeping TikTok around, versus Comadre saying gifts from friends and family. So she knows who to talk to about reducing the amount of gifts coming in. Now, sometimes the stuff comes into your house, the clutter comes into your house from somebody else, gifts, inheriting things that somebody dies, somebody else you live with is bringing stuff in. Other times it's you. It's you the call is coming from inside the house. It's you having a talk with you saying, is me adding this? That sounds awkward, but I'm going to run with it. Is me bringing more things into this house helping me feel less cluttered or making me feel more cluttered? Okay? So you can do it. You can do it. Sometimes people give gifts out of obligation. Okay? They feel like they are, and it is so much of what we do, you guys. The more I talk about clutter, the more I kind of peel the onion of realizing of how much we do is because of societal expectations that we're trying to fit in. We're afraid of being labeled the outcast because we don't give gifts, or that we're greedy or uncaring. So just get curious about so many things. Do not judge yourself for where you are, but look around at the greater context and say, if I'm affected by this, other people are too. Okay, awesome sauce. Awesome Sauce is listening on the road. I love it. This will be my last time here this week. Good luck to all. Awesome Sauce, me too. Danielle, was I going to tell you where I'm going? Well, I wasn't earlier, but I don't. Here's the thing. I don't like it when people show off. So if anything, I try to under show off. So I will state a fact. Today I go, and frankly, I'll be honest with you, I did not want to be in the country. I did not want to participate in the peaceful transition of power. And so I decided, and many of my friends did too, we didn't even want to be around for it. We wanted to make a statement and not even have our bodies in the country. It's true. So we are going to Paris for 3 or 4 days. Now, we are only going for a short time because months ago, I founded a TikTok travel agent. And I said to my husband, this is something I want. I have never booked a vacation with a travel agent. I want to experiment to see what that feels like. So back in September, we booked a vacation with a TikTok travel agent, Jennifer Byrne, your TikTok travel agent. Who knows what she's going to do if TikTok is not around. And then we are going to St. Lucia for a number of days. So yes, look at me sharing something with you. Now, that wasn't so bad, was it? Okay. There we go. I love it. Kat Roby says, I say I married Michigan J Frog. He's the funniest person they're the funniest person I know, especially when nobody else is around. Huh? I live that. You know? Cat Mama offers requesting the no gifty things, but requested coffee or cat things. So got things we can use. Yeah, that is a wonderful thing. Like, for example, when I go away on this trip, I do have some things I do want to buy. I'll be honest with you, because I've looked at these TikTok videos and I was like, oh, that butter looks delicious. And I love salt and I love butter. And I love the Java and it loves me. So I have things that I bring back with me, but I am so particular about anything that takes up physical space in my home, both when I go to Target and when I go traveling. So that's how I maintain my decluttered space. Okay? So notice, here's something good. Yes. Thank you, everybody. I know, so exotic, so unlike me. For years, I only basically did U.S. travel. I wrote books about road tripping, and at one point in my life, I said I wanted to write a road tripping book for all 50 states. After writing them for three or four states, I quickly changed my mind because, man, it's a lot of work. Now, the neat thing is because I sunsetted that part of my life, I think, honestly, frankly, just to share something with me, I realized the reticence of me sharing my travels is because I spent years doing it. I spent years telling everybody where I was going, documenting when I was there, and it sucked the fun out of travel for me to always be telling people, hey, this is what I'm doing. You know, you've seen travel influencers. I was kind of an early travel influencer for, vintage and retro stuff. It was fun until it wasn't. And the neat thing is when I sunsetted that, I kind of figured out what do I want to do? What do I want to do? And I started writing stuff down. And I started figuring out, what are some things I'm good at? What are some things I'm good at that I can make money at? What are some things that I'm good at that I can help other people? Long story short, if I didn't do that and say no when it stopped being fun, I would not be here in front of you doing helping everybody with the clutter. Okay? But yes, part of the reason why I don't share a lot about my travels is because I did it for so long. I don't know. It just, but you guys are cool people. Michelle, okay, good to know about the St. Lucia ideas. Thank you. Yep, I am all about, and this is what I say about you having your destination decluttered, is saying, what do I want? And one of the recurring themes, I say this when I encourage my clients to write stuff down, is the same thing may come out of you over and over again. Okay? When I write these things down, if the same thing keeps on coming up, it means it's really important to me. And so one of the things, seriously, that I really want to do before I die is I want to spend more time in warm weather, when it's cold where I live. Do I want to move where it's warm? Well, we'll see what's going on, in the country. But ideally, no. I love where I live and I love my neighbors. If things change, I am flexible. But for now, this is one of the things I make sure I make happen. I do the things to allow myself to do that. And I realize I am totally blessed and able to do that. Yeah, destination pot. Yeah, that's true. We can all plan to destinations that inspire us. Decluttered, Paris, St. Lucia, decluttered, destination happy life. That's really, to me, what it's all about, is feeling good as you move around your home, your life, outside of the world. You feel good in here as you move around out there. And the neat thing is there is an interaction between the two. Many times people tell me they feel better after they've decluttered. They feel better, And this is cool. Carla is saying, regarding the no gift thing, I have found when I am honest about no gifts, not needing anything, many people agree with me. Yes, you may let people off the hook by being the person who is brave enough to speak the truth. We did this when we were up in Massachusetts for Christmas. My friends who we were staying with were like, we're not exchanging gifts, are we? Because we were going to be there Christmas morning. And I was like, oh, hell no. I said, I love you. I have known you for decades. You and I both know we don't need a damn thing. And she's like, oh, thank God. Because if you wanted to, we would. But thank goodness you don't, because now we are relieved. Okay? Do not be afraid to learn what's true for you and speak it when the moment arises. Okay? Okay, I'm backing up a little bit. Mary says, probably won't make the next live. That's okay. That's okay. I will have an amazing trip, and thank you for the well wishes. I appreciate it. There we go. Amy says, I just came back from Iceland. Just bought jars of Icelandic salt for presents and one bracelet for myself. Here's a funny thing. I started buying salt when I've been other places because that is a condiment I use. My family, we are total saltaholics. I love it. However, I've already realized that I don't use what I have purchased as quickly as I have purchased it. So maybe when I'm in France, I'll get some salt. Maybe not. Maybe I'll buy a smaller thing of it. Maybe I won't get any at all, and I'll be happy with my salt from Mallorca. Or where did I get some? Hawaii, So, there we go. Comadre says, I love flowers and am rarely gifted any. I'll ask for flowers as gifts. Yes, notice what you just did. You kind of went inside. You said, hey, you, me, what do I like? What do I love? I love fresh flowers. Then I can say to the people that still want to give me a gift, here's something that I would really love as a gift. But you wouldn't do that if you kept your mouth shut. You wouldn't get what you want. Never be afraid to tell people what you want. If they ask, and also if you think they're going to give you something, or even just literally, as they say in that manifesting stuff, put it out to the universe. Mention it to somebody. You never know who has a connection to something you want. And somebody may have, if you say, oh man, I really want one of those KitchenAid mixers, but I know they're like $300. Somebody, you mention that out loud. You don't mention it, nobody knows. You mention it out loud to people, and you're not saying, give it to me, but you're saying, hey, this is something I'm looking for, I want. Somebody may say, you know what, I have one in my basement I never use. We got 2 as wedding gifts. You want one? It can never hurt, and it can most often help to ask for what you want. Because when you're able to articulate it out here into the world, it means you've clarified something that you want to yourself. So you can also say to yourself, okay, if this is what I want, what can I do to help get it? And part of helping to get it is to put it out there. Okay? There we go. Martin Luther King Day. Brenda is asking, where did you buy the containers on your shelves behind you? Oh, every place. Here's a wonderful thing. The only reason these cool containers are here is because somebody else decluttered their house. Somebody else didn't hold on to their things. They let them go. And I bought these, I don't know, at like maybe a garage sale, a flea market, an antique store. Perhaps somebody gifted one to me. I don't really know the origin story. I just know that I did not go out and buy them, you know, new off the shelf. And I share that with you because when you declutter, when you have stuff in your house that you don't want anymore, I know from experience there are people out there who will be delighted to receive your things. Now, did I know specifically the people who donated these? Not at all. No. That's why we have those third places. We have thrift stores. We have eBay. Even just thrift stores are so much better. You go, you have it, you don't want it. There's a place you can put it temporarily while somebody else goes and gets it. It's a wonderful thing, okay? Therapy Gal Sue is saying, creating space inside and out of me for other experiences other than managing my things. Yes, every item you own requires your care, no matter how small. Pens got to be put away. Cups got to be washed. I don't know. Stuff got to stuff. I'm not coming up with anything. You know what I mean. Reducing the number of items in your home, which is decluttering, reduces the number of items you need to take care of. And I don't know about you, but at this point in your life, aren't you kind of tired of taking care of other things? Don't you want to just take care of yourself? Okay. Yeah. And Michelle says, I love thrifting. Plus, you don't have to worry about paying shipping. Yeah. I love this. No, and Brooke is asking, are those Estee Lauder book boxes in the back? No, they are variety. Some are Samsonite, some are Travelite, Amelia Earhart. I don't know. They're all that kind of vintage travel. They're like train cases. They used to come in like a set of luggage, you know? So, now here's something. What do we got? Okay, Sad Mac. But they've been out of pink salt for months, so now I've been hoarding it. Yeah, I know that feeling. Something you like is going away. You want to hang on to it. TikTok, right? You want to hang on to it because it might not be there again. Right. So when you hoard something, what I will share with you is please use it. You may have an over inventory of it. Please use the things in your home. They are there to help your life be better. That pink salt is meant to make your food deliciously saltier. So use the things in your home. As I like to say, play with your toys. I say that because the things in your home should be bringing you joy, just like a toy. Now, there we go. Kara says, I ask for garden center gift certificates. Of course you do. You're a green thumb. And you have convinced my mom to give kids Trader Joe's gift certificates. Yeah. Changing the generational dynamic of families and friends is really how we change this cluttered situation that we are currently in, that our parents might have been in, and we are going to change it. I can't remember where the future is, like for the future, for the kiddos. I love it. Now, speaking of kiddos, Cat Mama says, I actually asked my niece, who is a great cook, to put leftovers aside for me. Now, that is great, because I don't cook. So, yes, notice how you can be personal and work with things that people love to do. Okay? Yeah, now see, here's a fun thing. Okay, Sad Mac's going to use it. Okay, Sad Mac's going to use your salt. I love it. Yeah, Penny says, yes, I want to take care of me, working in boundaries. Oh, honey, I am so good at those. And they are loving boundaries. They are, I know when it's good for me to not have boundaries, wiggle room, and other times when I'm like, nope, it's going to be best for me and everybody else involved if I get some sleep. So practice that. Now that's really cute that user 1963 says, my parents still use train cases on the airplane. I tried it once and they didn't fit under the seat because I used to be so much more vintagey, you know, but I still like them. So I store things in those. My jewelry's in there. I know I've got like my, over here, I've got my vintage postcard collection. So yeah, notice this stuff. And here's an interesting thing. User 3490 says, when couponing was huge, I bought so much stuff discounted and ended up not using half of it. Okay? What I love about that is you are noticing that there was a feeling you got when you were couponing. You got like an electric charge. You got a dopamine hit with the process of couponing. That kind of, oh, check me out and I'm getting a deal. Oh, I'm putting one over on the man. Like, yeah, check me out. I'm smart. I paid less for this than that person did. Look at me. That feeling had everything to do with the process, and almost the result of it was almost an afterthought because you didn't need that quantity of it. I share that with you because notice where, for example, many people talk about, and they joke about it, but it's serious, like retail therapy. I feel bad, I'm going to go buy myself something. It's that charge of treating yourself, of buying something, saying, I am worth this. It is the process of being distracted by other things and focusing on, I can't think about that. I got to figure out where my next snow dome is coming from. When you get the item, it's almost an afterthought. And sometimes, honestly, when we go traveling, we almost feel obligated. When you're surrounded by people buying souvenirs, you feel weird not buying souvenirs. I say that because this mug here that I like a lot is closer to me than anything. I'll be honest, I am over half Irish descent. There's a lot of the stuff from Ireland that just that leaves me flat. But I saw this and it was close to what I like. But I mean, look at the size of this mug and look at the size of this mug. I like a big mug. But I felt like, oh, I guess I should buy a souvenir. Everybody else is doing it. Now, I did enjoy drinking tea out of that for a while. I did use it. And now I actually enjoy using it more as the thing for my highlighters. Okay. Yeah. Good stuff. Now, I love this. I love how people are... Kara says, we are doing the ultimate decluttering using ChatGPT to eat the food in our pantry. Imagine that. What a cool idea. I assume you say, hey, ChatGPT, we've got these ingredients. What can we make? And they come up with a recipe. Sounds cool. Yeah, Rochelle, I'm doing the same thing. Rochelle says, I try to treat myself with consumable items or experiences and then take pictures. Totally. That's what I'm going to do too. I like big mugs and I can't deny. Those other girls can't. I don't know that song enough except but you know what? I don't need to know the whole song so that we can both laugh about I like big butts and I cannot lie. So hey, here's a fun thing. We've got the song Baby Got Back, Sir Mix-a-Lot. Everybody, I like big butts. We've got Pee Wee Herman when he's hanging out in the dinosaur in Cabazon, California with au revoir, Simone, with Simone. Simone, who went to France. Maybe I will see Simone when I go to France. And Pee Wee talked about everybody's got a big butt. All my friends have big butts. Now, of course, they played it for comedic effect. Why not? But also, we laughed because it's true on the deeper level. I would be decluttered, but, and it's in capital letters, and then there's a ... fill in the blank. Fill in the blank like some sort of, not an essay thing, but like I would be decluttered, but write that down. What's the big but in your way of being decluttered? If you can figure that out, you can solve it. It's great. If you got a problem, I'll solve it. Now, the more I coach, the more I learn about this stuff myself. I thought about this before. Earlier, if you watch some of my recorded TikTok lives, and there are hundreds of them. So next week when I am traveling, you can access them. So I'm not leaving you high and dry. It's kind of like in the summer. Remember there used to be like live TV and then you would watch the repeats in the summer? You will hear me say, like, clutter is not a problem. Because people say, well, my problem is, I've changed my mind on that one. Because you know what? Much like Ice Ice Baby, Vanilla Ice said, and also as the math class that we all took, any math class, they give you a problem and there is a solution. There is a solution to that problem. So if you identify your clutter as a problem, good. That means that the opposite exists. The opposite of a problem is a solution. So we can solve your problem. You've done it before in your life. I'm here to help you with the stuff that you're just scratching your head and you don't know, like the formulas. Just like in that class I took in high school of math. You know? Carla Jane is asking, do you like to set a timer and work in the same room until complete, or set a timer in switch up rooms? Okay? It depends. I will share with you. I have clients that are very methodical. Somebody talked about it being the Washington something. There's like a way for it that you start in a room and you go like from left to right or right to left. I thrive under a flexible schedule. I wither under a rigid schedule. So what I say, Carla, is I like that feeling of being in control of my own time, so it depends. Some days, and I will share this, the difference is when you spend more time in one space, you will more quickly see the results of your labors. If you go from room to room to room, you are still doing good stuff, so it's not like you're doing anything bad or wrong, but you're kind of robbing yourself of that satisfaction. Okay? I kind of like the combo. I will share this with you. Is like this room right here. I will try to figure out how to share photos. I have photos when this room used to be a hot mess. This was covered in clutter. There were shelves on the wall. There were so many bookcases in here, stuff everywhere. And I said I didn't want this room to be that way. And so I spent a lot of time decluttering this room. And when I got done with that, when I was like, oh my God, I can't even go in that room anymore, then I would take a break. And maybe I would putter and declutter some other places, but then I would go back to that original room. Everybody here knows the good feeling of walking into a decluttered room. That, it reminds you that you can get to the destination. That it's not always going to be kind of literally, look at where my arm, look at my finger, I'm, hypnotizing you. No, but you're going from room to room to room to room to room. If you always do that, you may never finish one room, and you may erroneously think that decluttering goes on forever. I say stop and focus your energies in one area and notice the results. But when you're focusing your energies in that area and then you're just like, I need to get away from this, as you would, walk away from it. Allow yourself the flexibility to step away from your work. That's usually when the best ideas happen, when you're not so focused and you can step away. So giving yourself that flexibility to step away is an integral part of this process. But sticking with it a little bit until you see some results is also why your timer can be so helpful. Now notice when I say setting your timer, I don't say set it for 2 hours. I say if you want to work for 2 hours, you've got 2 hours and you feel like you want to declutter, even then, set your timer for like 20 minutes at a time. And practice stopping and checking in with yourself and saying, okay, how am I feeling? And Carla, you feel yourself feeling crappy and you override that. But we love you anyway. Okay? Okay, yeah. Sad Max says, I think my butt was fire evacuation, so I'm looking at every item differently. Yeah. Briscoe Ashley, good morning to you. Okay. There we go. Penny Luck Myers calls it zigzag decluttering. Yeah, saturate and take a break. Saturate and take a break. Cat Mama's sunroom is finally done and put Mom's rockers and stuff I already have out there. I don't want to bring more in. Good stuff. Good stuff. Notice the process. Okay, Nikki, you have a thrifting habit? I had a thrifting habit. I did. I could point to anywhere in our home and show where things came from a thrift store. I enjoyed that. I did. But notice, habits can be good and habits can be bad. Habits are a way of doing things that are kind of, you become ingrained. And so just ask yourself, is your thrifting habit continuing to give you that good feeling? Or does the good feeling plummet when you come home with thrifted stuff and then you are in a cluttered home? Okay? Yes, Carla Jane, have set alarms to go to the bank again today. You will go to the bank. You're not going to try. You're going to go to the bank. And they will be open, and we will be cheering you on. As I mentioned, I'm kind of, taking the gates off because we only have 20 minutes right now, and then I coach, and then I pack, and then we come back. I have a TikTok live at 11 a.m. Eastern to 12 noon Eastern, and then I go traveling. So Carla, no pressure, but maybe you could make a plan to yourself to get to the bank somewhere before noontime, and then you could tune in and let us know that you did it. We are cheering you on. Please know that. Please know that people you don't even know, that you've never met, you've never even seen their face perhaps, you don't even know what their real name is, or you don't know anything about them, but there is good energy here. We are sending good vibes to each other. We are supporting people. That is the magic electricity that lives in us. That's how we know we're alive, is we have those waves of good vibes that we can send to people. We can also send nasty vibes with a side eye and a little bit of to somebody, right? People taking away our TikTok, people wanting to rob us of our freedoms. F them, okay? So, yes, you called it for me. Dopamine hit. Yeah, I know, because I've been there. I've done it myself. It was fun, and then I would come home, I'd be like, oh my God, look at all the great stuff I have. And then I was like, oh shit, what do I do with it now? And then I got into selling things, because then at least that kind of gave me an excuse to feed my habit. You know what I mean? Kind of like a drug habit. I'm feeding my drug habit. Then I realized I didn't like the selling anymore. And I'm like, now what do I do? And that's when I started decluttering, Yeah. So here's a cool thing. Cat Mama, I don't know, because I'm pretty sure you are in Connecticut. And there is a woman who popped up on my FYP who does estate sales in Connecticut. She's here on TikTok, and one of the things I thought was so awesome that she did, because I did it in my own way, was she said she buries treasures. She plants gems in her what do you call them? Estate sales. She puts good stuff in so people will discover a treasure and feel good about it. If they know they're going to find a treasure in one of her estate sales, they are more likely to go to other ones of her estate sales. Now, I do that. I will share that with you. I know I had stuff that, yes, I could have made $20-30 a piece on, and $20 is nothing to sneeze at. I know that. However, the thought of going through the process to make that money, I was like, I don't even want to. And luckily, I didn't have to. Me between survival and whatever was not $20. I used to sell stuff on eBay to literally pay my rent and survive. So I know that feeling. This was different. And I say this to you because then what I started to do was think, I remember being on the receiving end of things that were in thrift stores and finding that diamond in the rough. That, oh my God, I can't believe anybody donated this. This is so cool. That feeling, when I put something worth $20, $30 or some vintage thing that I knew people would collect, when I kind of put that in with the rest of the random stuff that was in my thing, I knew I was giving somebody the gift of that good feeling. So notice that if you're kind of hemming and hawing on stuff, well, I could sell it. You could give somebody you don't even know those good vibes, right? Just a thought. I did it. I thought it was fun. I just offer it to you. All right. Rochelle says, woke up at 7 for the live. It's the last one. Play date with friend. Go play, people. Go for it. Teresa, I'm a sentimental saver. My patients are on hospice. Should I start getting rid of stuff now? Personally, I say hell yes. Ask your hospice people what they would have done, and also seriously ask the families of the hospice people. Many people will say, I wish I started the decluttering process sooner. I wish I didn't spend so much time hemming and hawing about the stuff in my life, and I just got it out of my life so I could focus on what truly matters. I'm a sentimental saver too. We all are. We all save. Many of us do. I say all. It's a bit declarative. I tone it down a little bit. Many of us save things not for what it is, but for the sentimental reasons. If this mug right here did not remind me that I went to Avoca in Ireland and it just was a blank mug that was from like when I worked at Pier 1 or Filene's or Mikasa, if this was just plain, I would not keep this mug. No. I would use something else to put my stuff in. But I have memories, but I don't want to use it as a mug. But the quantity of items is really a lot of what quantity and quality. I want you to think about that. What is the ratio of quality to quantity in your house? I will say this, we are at about 90% quality. We have, churns, 10% of random stuff, whatever, but we really enjoy the stuff we have in our house. Not just the quality of it, but the number of items we have, because it's easy to manage. It's easy to put stuff away. So think about it. Think about what the ratio, the percentage of quality yours is. The things that I truly love over the amount of items I really have, and you make a percentage. I don't know. It's math. I'm making this shit up. All of this is made up. Okay? Now, I love this. Kelsey is saying, recovering hoarder. I learned the behavior from my abusive mom. Yeah. And halfway through my storage. Mostly gone. I love it. I love it. Yes, and look, people are sending good vibes with their words and their emojis and their connections, right? This is what's so cool here. Yeah. No, Comadre is saying, you have changed my life and quality of life. Yeah, quality. Quality. It's all about quality, people. Yeah. Thank you for your kind heart and generosity. You're welcome. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share what I've learned that's helped me. It's the only reason I showed up here on TikTok was saying, hey, I've learned some shit on this planet that's really improved my life. It took me 50 plus years. I want to share this so it doesn't take as long for somebody else to get to where they want to go to. I know the journey. I know the shortcuts. I want to show you a better way and a quicker way, but a more sustainable way, a way of feeling good and getting to feeling good in your life years earlier than I did. This is why I am such a good auntie too, because I am also sharing these lessons with the younger generation in my family. And boy, howdy, do those kiddos see the difference between grandma who hoards and mother and aunties who have gathered things, and the difference between when you don't have a lot of stuff and then you can have time and you have peace of mind and you can focus on hanging out with people and having memories and really spending quality time with people. Okay? That's what it's all about, Charlie Brown. Okay? Now, Lynn Berger, I know you're getting spoiled with all these extra lives. Yes. Well, here, I'm going to wean you off of this banquet. Life is a banquet, and most suckers are starving. I gave you a banquet. I shared this abundance of info that I have with you. I shared with you the fact that I have time in my schedule, that I chose to use my time to hang out with you. I did it freely and willingly and with no regrets. However, I am slowing down and I am shifting gears because I will not be here next week. I hope TikTok is here for you guys. Milk it for every drop, okay? If I were still going to be home, I'd be doing the same. I seriously woke up in the middle of the night last night and I said to myself, oh my God, this may be the last time I can ever wake up in the middle of the night and scroll on TikTok. You know what I did? I scrolled on TikTok, So, do good stuff, Yeah, Star Crane says you deserve a break today at McDonald's. It is fun to be able to have boundaries on your time. I enjoyed what I did here on TikTok, and I'm only talking about in the past tense temporarily. I choose to believe. Here's a good statement. What do I want is a question I want you to write down and ask yourself all the frickin' time. What do I want? What do I want to wear today? What do I want to eat today? Is what I'm choosing here going to get me the life I want? What do I want? And here's a phrase that helps me through the tough times and inspires me to take action as opposed to just laying down or curling up in a ball. I choose to believe that. I choose to believe that ... Now, I choose to believe that TikTok will be here when I return the following week. However, I choose to believe that. I hope that it's there, but I'm also making another plan. I'm not going to blindly hope. I'm going to be pragmatic, and I'm going to make a plan. Sometimes what you hope for doesn't work out. But sometimes in that, it's possible. It's hard to say with all the dark stuff going on, even in the next few days here in the U.S., that you can imagine that something better could happen. But I know from personal experience with my husband, he got some horrible news that we thought was horrible news about one of the bands he's in. I won't go into details. A few days later, the fact that that crashed and burned allowed other things that are now blooming that nobody could have ever anticipated. So maybe something like that will happen. Okay. Yeah. Yep. So Jenny of the Shire says, my mantra is when you can, you do. And when you can't, you make do. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. Let's make up blindingly hoping and making a plan. We get the both. We're not going to lose any either way. Yes. Yep. Yep. Actually, somebody does say there is a petition with a link on TikTok. It's got 450,000 signatures. Thorin Bradley and his TikTok tell you where to go. Yeah, I signed it. I think it's complete bullshit that people are not following the rule of law. That people are deciding to change who the rules apply to. That TikTok did not get the same standard process that any other person in front of the court would, or any other entity that they're picking and choosing. I don't like that. Not on my watch. I'm going to get into some good trouble, you know? Yes, and Erica Lenz, it's right. TikTok refugees, completely. Because we are. So we can just, this is my thing. Getting yourself into action reminds you can do something, okay? You can do something. And even if that doing something is right now just making a plan and watching what's going on. Now, I am doing this, I am telling you that I will be moving over to TikTok if TikTok Live, TikTok goes away. But I've also already had my YouTube channel for years. And that's where you're going to find the repeats of my TikTok Lives when I'm away next week. So we already have a soft place to land, to do lives and to hang out. But I also hope, for many reasons, that TikTok is still here. It's not just about me and you. It's about all the people who have made a living here. It's about the fact that TikTok is being treated differently because somebody decided that they don't have to follow the rules. So that's a lot of what, underneath the I may look like, a 58-year-old woman, but I still got my punk rock roots inside of me, right? They just have, they're a little bit gray. So Star Queen is saying, are you taking any of those cute little travel cases behind you on your trip? No, I'm not. But I will explain to you why. They are not functional for the travel that I do. I have a really cute sassy bag from Blue Q, an awesome company in Western Massachusetts, that I have learned to use for my underseat travel cat thing. And then also I found a really good rolling suitcase. I can't even imagine old-timey suitcases, trugging those along. Whoever invented the suitcase with wheels on it, we don't know who that person is, but man, have they improved our lives. Hey, this is very nice. Kara says, I'm going to make a TikTok for you this morning. Appreciate all the inspiration, especially this week. She made $300. Yeah, Sad Mac loves the Blue Q. I have been an OG Blue Qer since like the 80s. And I think they do great stuff. Yeah, it might have been a mom, Penny Luck. It could have been. But notice what they said. They said, there's a problem here. There has to be a better way to do this. There has to be a better way. And there is a better way to declutter. There is a better way. Put wheels on it. Experiment. Play. You know, remember the ones that were still a suitcase and they had a little like leash on them? That worked for a while. There we go. Oh, fun. Here, oh, this is funny. Kara, this is going to be a little bit like an aside here, but we got the connection here. Kara says, my cousin did lots of the photos for early Blue Q. Kara, so what year was it? 1989. I worked at a professional photo lab on Newbury Street in Boston. And somebody from Blue Q came in and brought some like slide film to get developed. Whoever took in the order misfiled it, and we did the order, but it got misfiled, so when they came to pick it up, nobody could find it. Oh my God, all hell broke loose. It was the era of the flat cat. I think that was one of their very first like things. And then they had a flat baby, I think. That reminds me totally of the 80s. Flashback. Thank you for giving me the flashback. Cat Mama went to Paris in 93 and had a big bulky suitcase. And yeah, didn't know better. Didn't have better. Kara, wouldn't that be hysterical if your cousin was the person who took the photos that our place, we eventually found them. I found them because somebody had mislabeled them. And I remember taking off the paper and opening up the little box of slides and looking and being like, holy shit, these are the ones that those people were rightly having a fit about. Man, small world, huh? This is what I like to say. It's a small, cool world. You guys, you and I right here, us, all 115 plus of us, small, cool world. Let's continue to make it a small, cool world, and even better, a bigger, cool world. You know? Wicked funny. He probably doesn't remember that story, but I do, because I was mortified. And look what happened. Even me, look at me. I'm always bringing things back. I'm like the jazz musician who comes back to the root note. Look at what happened when somebody put something away in a place they couldn't find it. All hell broke loose. Also, Cindy Sherman, I think, brought in some things, and somebody misfiled them. Regardless, when you know where things are, you can easily find them and give them back to people. You know? Yeah. Sad Mac, you literally woke up and find me? I've been here all along, but you know what? Sometimes timing is everything. What I will share with you, as I have 3 minutes left on this TikTok Live, I have one more today, 11 a.m. Eastern to 12 noon, and then I will be, as I've said for years, off the digital grid. My name is Beth. I'm a decluttering life coach. My coaching here on TikTok and elsewhere on the internet is Destination Decluttered. Okay, destinationdecluttered.com is my website. You can find out about my coaching there and stuff like that. But for now, I want you to think of, if you like what I'm doing, hop on my mailing list. After noontime today, the only way we may ever be able to remain in touch is if you're on my mailing list or if you follow me on YouTube. But the great thing is that the mailing list is going to let you know where I go elsewhere, what my plan is. And you know, pretty much as soon as I land from getting home and I recover, I'm going to be seeing what the deal is and making a plan so we can all get back together. Okay? So just notice this. Notice you can do something to create this good feeling, this connection, this good vibe. Okay? And it is the universe. I mean, I do not underestimate the power of the universe connecting energies that we know nothing about. But if we're attuned to it and we're open to it, it will happen. You know, but we also are taking action to make it happen. People woke up early so they could do this TikTok Live. I got out of bed from scrolling TikTok and decided to be on the other side of it. Okay? So I would say I implore you, but that sounds like begging. I offer to you, if you like what was happening here and you want this to continue in the future, consider just hopping on my free mailing list at destinationdecluttered.com. Okay? I feel good about that. You can feel good about Hood. I'm like Harry Hood. Patchwork. We used to crack up about that. So, Wendy's got meetings. I get it. My honey and I will have the best trip ever. One of many. And there we go. Painting of a Duck says, I will follow to whatever platform if needed. And much like a mama duck, I'm not taking us to any, muddy, crappy puddle. No, we're going someplace good. If I'm the mama duck, I'm quacking. You guys follow me, but I'm taking us somewhere good. We will find a good place. There are places already that seem better. I will not be on Facebook. I will not be on Instagram. Even if I have post it up there, which I have done for quite a while, that has stopped as of this week. So I share this info with you so we know where to find each other. Okay? So I'm going to sign off now so I can shift gears and do something else. Probably if you're on the next TikTok live, you're going to see me ideally showered and dressed in real clothing. But in the meantime, this has been a joy. This has been a delight. And let's stay together.